Hey guys, so something unusual for I has been happening on YouTube. I've had some very angry, racist comments towards myself, which is unusual. I'm normally, if I see any racism, I'm deflecting it away from the children, basically, because if any sort of negative racist stuff occurs, it's normally directed at the children. As you all know, we have 60 children in our care here who have no one to care for them, and all of those children are not of the same ethnic origin as myself. They're all black African, they're all Tanzanian, and I am the only white man in this community of many thousands of Africans, and Fritzi is the only white woman, my fiance. So normally when I face racism, it is something that I'm deflecting or trying to push away from the channel. But this is directed at myself, and it comes off the back, I didn't know about this by the way, it comes off the back of a video I made, Who Are the True Israelites? Now, in what these persons are saying are that the true Israelites are persons of black descent, because of, and then the tribes who were scattered to the four corners of the world are persons of black descent who were scattered in the slave trading days. And ultimately, I'm really disgusted by the way these people have spoken, and I thought I'd just speak out about it a little bit. Now, however you see it, or however you want to see it, I'm not guessing at the idea that mysticism and the language of it exists. And it makes a lot more sense to me that a book which is ultimately about love and about how we can find the love and union with God would find a common union in people. White supremacy is pathetic, but black supremacy is equally as pathetic. You're not supreme because of the colour of your skin. If you're born white and if you're born black and that's the only thing you're going to be proud of, you didn't achieve anything. You didn't have any choice whatsoever where you would manifest on this planet. You had no choice which body your soul would inhabit. This is the choice of the natural workings of the reality we live in, and of the sub-reality we live in, the quantum reality, the spirit world, if you would. Now, your free will begins arguably at around about the age of 3 or 4. From there, what you do is where you get to take some sort of pride in what you do. If you wish to take pride at all, it's best to remain humble. But if you're going to take any sort of pride in anything, to take pride in the fact that you're a man or a woman, to take pride in the fact that you're black or you're white, to take pride in the fact that you're from the Middle East, to take pride in the fact that, then that's fine, you can be proud of what you are. But to be so proud of what you are that you're going to create divide among your fellow humans, well, this puts you in a strange position, because this puts you at the point where you haven't achieved anything with your life. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but you have not. If the only thing that you can be truly proud of what you've done with your life is the thing that you had no control over whatsoever, the colour of your skin, your gender, which part of the world you were born, then you haven't achieved anything. And I suggest you rechannel that energy into achieving something that God would be pleased with, instead of hate speech, because hate speech is not something God will be pleased with. Now, in the language of mysticism, perhaps indeed the tribes of Judah, by the way, are African persons. It is mentioned a great deal because of the location that the Bible stories come from, about Ethiopians and so on and so forth. So maybe, who knows? But this isn't what I was discussing. I was discussing mysticism. And in mysticism, Israelite is a person who has liberated themselves of their lower nature. A person who wouldn't even look at hate speech. That is God's chosen person. Someone loving, caring, who has gone over the top of their 5 senses and their animal nature, and who the concept of hate speech is not part of their daily lives. Now, if you're going out into the world with a message of hate speech towards others purely based on the fact that they look different to you, then you are not God's chosen person, for you are not an Israelite in the sense of the mysticism of the Bible. For you have not come over the top of your lower nature. You are in fact embedded in your lower nature, and you are talking from your lower nature, and you are condemning others, and Jesus would not do that. If Jesus was white or black, he would not do that. He's the Prince of Peace and of love, and of non-judgment. So if Israelites in the Bible, on the literal sense, are black or white or any of the shades of skin colour that we have in between, then that's fine. No problem whatsoever. But Israelites and the Jews are not Jews, which are ones outwardly, as it says in the Bible. And thus, in the language of mysticism, an Israelite is someone who has found dominion over their five senses. So regardless of the colour of your skin, unless you have found dominion over your five senses and found a position of love in your heart, you're not an Israelite, and thus you are not God's chosen person. So you can spread your hate all you want, but God's ears are deaf to it. God's eyes are blind to it until you open up your heart. And those in pain will cry out in pain, because that's what's going on, in anger. And yes, I agree that if we are to dwell on the past, that of course the African races have something to be angry about the ancestors of myself and others. I too am angry at my own ancestors, so we have a union there. They should not have done what they did. They should not have treated persons as they treat them. But it's got nothing to do with myself today. I've worked hard, damn hard. I've exhausted myself. I've given myself stomach ulcers. I've had no time for myself for 4 years so as I could protect children. Not so as I could protect black children, not so as I could protect white children, but so I could protect children. Because children need adults to protect them, regardless of their skin colour. And I don't look at the children here as black or African children. I just look at them as little souls in little bodies who need some help. And I've devoted my life to them. I now have 26 disabled children, all of which are from African descent. They're all Tanzanian. And I will have them in my guardianship forever because they can't look after themselves. They can't get jobs. They can't go out into the world and do these things. So we will always keep them here in our community that we're building. So my life is committed to these children, but it's not committed to black children. It's committed to children who are in crisis, who are in need, God's children, who need love right now, today. And it's no different in South Africa. There are black persons committed to helping the white children in the slums. There are white slums in South Africa, one of the few places on the world they exist. And it's no different. It just means that those persons have found Christ in their heart. But someone running around shouting hate speech at other people, you haven't found Christ. You're an abomination to Christ, in fact, because it's just not right. It's not right to create such divide on the planet. And I told these people, I forgive you. I do forgive you. But it's hard, I am human. I don't suffer fools so easily sometimes, and when I get hate speech, I can't stand it. I can't stand persons who attack the children with racist deluge, and I can't stand persons who attack myself or other white people with racist deluge. Because they think they are God's chosen person because they were born black, or because they were born white. You're not. When you're God's chosen person, you work hard to be God's chosen person. You embrace the fight that all men and all women must fight, just as Samson fought the beast, fought the lion. You too must fight your lion, which is your ego, your lower nature, the thing that makes you speak without boundary, using emotion and hate. A centered and collected human who has fought the lion as Samson fought the lion. That is God's chosen person. And it will always be open to every person, no matter what skin colour they are, no matter where they are from, no matter what background they've faced. If you can overcome your lower nature, then you will become God's chosen person. This is how it works. So, it's written in the Nag Hammadi, the Gospel of Thomas. Blessed is he who consumes the lion, but cursed is he that the lion consumes, for he will surely become the lion. Consuming the lion is dominating your lower nature, and it takes discipline, And that's the hardest fight of all, because it's one-on-one, fists up, with the lower aspects of your own nature. You go for a dance with the devil, and you have to win. And we all must do that. Every aspect of us must do that, whether it's overeating, whether it's sexual immorality, whether it's addiction to other things, whether it's lying, whether it's whatever it is that we're doing. We must find dominion over those lower aspects of our nature. And if we don't, then we will never become God's chosen people, regardless of where we are born, regardless of whose family we're born into, and regardless of the words we speak or the colour of our skin. You've got to go the distance with your lower nature. And when you do, God can guide you with the subtle language that angels do use, that guided me here to protect these children. Children, not black children, just children. They are black, but they are just children. Same as my children. When they are born of my own blood, will just be children. They will not be white children. To I, everyone is just children. People are just people. And a white supremacist and a black supremacist belong nowhere near the word Christ or God. You're all in the same place together for I. For it is your human malfunctioning that makes you behave that way. And it's overcoming that human malfunctioning and becoming an aligned human being that the process of defeating your lion, or overcoming the lower nature, or as it's said in Greek mythology, to enter the maze and to escape the Minotaur, the bull-headed beast. It's all the same thing. It's all finding your way around your emotions, your psychology, and your spiritual inner workings to escape the beast of your ego, the beast of your ego that will make you speak in hate. So come to God. God is within you, and Christ is therefore within you. And to be God's chosen person, you must liberate yourself of your lower nature. And I hope that those in the world, no matter what colour skin they are, who have divide or want to create divide with others, will find a way to do that. Because at present you're not really helping humanity. What's helping humanity is stopping people from suffering today. If you truly, of course there is racism. Fight for your rights for if there's someone being racist. But the same goes for a white person and a black person. So we're fighting what's the common enemy. If a white person's fighting racism and a black person's fighting racism, are we fighting white and black? No, we're not. We're fighting a malfunctioning aspect of human consciousness. And they are all in the same position together. Be they white or black supremacists, they are all in the same place. You can just put them over here for me, because they belong together. They can just stand and argue and hate one another all they want. But they don't belong with God's chosen people. They belong together, arguing and bickering, until one of them realizes they must go within, shut their mouths, silence their minds, and seek the kingdom which is within. So, okay. I think I covered it. Much love. Bye, guys.